Hey, what's up, Shane? A quick demo video for you for your pair of flagships here. I have had these in my office before, and for those of you that don't know, Shane was actually the one that came up with the design that I send out in my, um, in my installs sometimes because I had an Etsy customer who had dropped his saber with the handle off and the chassis broke and he was mad. Anyways, he had come up with this, and in a stroke of irony, uh, Shane or someone Shane knows dropped one of these sabers and it had the handle off, so the chassis snapped. Right. So what we decided to do, or what Shane wanted to do anyway, and I just accommodated, was for removable chassis setups. So that's what I've got in both of these. We'll go over this one first, just because I had it in my hand. But they're both set up identically, and they have the same exact chassis that you'll see here in a second. I did reuse all of the parts that were in the previous chassis. The only things that I added were the Smuggler's Outpost switch pixel PCBs, and I'll show you that here in a second, right? But you've still got your stocks in there, 2-button setups, right? So main and auxiliary back here. How you get to these chassis is you just want to unscrew the handle. We'll unscrew the handle. Now, when you take this off, you have the 14-pin PCB here that's inside the emitter, or the upper saber part. I like to keep these pins inside the saber whenever I can and not part of the chassis, because typically the chassis is what people handle the most, and so I don't like those pins being exposed for damage, right? But when you open that up, you'll see your chassis right there. It'll just slide out right into your hand, and this is what you've got. So this is the variation of that chassis, that particular chassis design that I came up with for you, right? So removable battery setup, these greeblies here that you'll probably recognize, this Jedi symbol over here. You still got your kill switch right here, and then of course your Proffie board. This Proffie board has been taken out of a previous chassis, cleaned up, and then rewired, so it's not as clean as a typical brand new board would be, but these are just fine. They work fine, right? I did clean them up the best I could and then wired them back, and everything's working great. And then of course you've got your female side of that PCB set right here, and then they both have Smuggler's Outpost dark side speakers, 28 millimeters, right? So we'll throw a battery in here. Snaps in. You're not going to hear anything, of course, until we come over here and flip the kill switch. You got a Tron font on here, so blue, right? I don't typically recommend putting the chassis in this way, but on one of these sabers, you have a pommel that is stuck. It was stuck when it came to me. It just can't come off. So in order to keep both of these sabers, the same across the board, what we're going to do, instead of going through the pommel to insert your chassis, you just take the handle and you just throw the chassis right in. It slides right in just like that. The board is adhesed down to the chassis, so you don't have to worry about it coming up and touching the metal of the inside of the handle or anything like that. It is adhesed down, but you can get to both your SD card and your micro USB without moving the board. It's the same exact setup that I did for you before, so that's what that looks like right there. You do have motion controls on here because these came pre-programmed, right? So we'll just take this, throw it in here, and then we'll screw this on. Screw it down all the way tight. Hit power. See your LEDs lighting up in there? Auxiliary. And you've got twist off. We will put a blade in this guy and test it out real quick. Of course, Flagships take 1-inch diameter NeoPixel blades, right? So no change there. Tighten that down. Auxiliary.
I'll tear my way through if I have to.
Throw another sound font. Everything is good there. So you got battle mode on here, right? So you hit the saber, you get blade lock up. Showing that right here. You can see the difference in my hand until you pull away from it. Try one more. That's right here. Just like that. And then we will take the battery out of this guy. Pop the blade out, and then we'll just unscrew the handle. Take that off and slide the chassis right out into your hand. Now one of these, it's this one in particular, you're going to need a tool to get the battery out. It's not going to come out right, but we'll flip that kill switch first so you can see it's cutting off power. And come over here and pry the battery out. It's just a little bit tighter than the other one. The other one I did reuse your battery terminals, and then this one has brand new terminals in it. So that's why there's a slight variation, but it just stays in the chassis. Very tough anyway, and it doesn't affect the performance, right? So we'll throw that back in there. We'll screw this down. This was the saber that doesn't have any etching on the shrouds. That one's good to go. And of course, these are made the exact same, so you can interchange these cores on either saber if you want to, right? And then this one is the one with the etched shrouds. So we'll take this one off. Same 14-pin PCB set. Chassis. Slide right out into your hand. And of course, you got the same setup here that you did in the other one, right? And we'll throw a battery in this guy too. Come over here and flip the kill switch.
Haven't gotten myself killed yet.
And we'll throw this in the handle. Lock this down too. Make sure it's nice and tight. Come over here to activation. Get your LEDs. Auxiliary back here. You find it. Twist off, and we'll throw a blade in this guy too. One of these I think has stock V2s. I think it's this one. And the other one has the stock V3s. But they operate the same, obviously. Blade lock up. I'm not used to battle mode because I've been taking it off a lot of the sabers lately, but these both have it. You really see that one because it's purple. So yeah, all these are working like they should. like that. And we will take the blade and battery out of this guy too. Unscrew the handle. Put that off to the side and slide your chassis out into your hand. And then on this particular one, you can come in with your finger. Or we'll flip the kill switch like that. And this one, you can come in with your finger and you can pop it out just like that. But that's basically your two flagships. Let me know if you got any questions, and if not, I will get these out in the mail to you tomorrow. All right, thanks.